the intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
Hey Star Trek League Band fans, welcome to my Server 710 account. Not that we need it for today, because today I want to talk to you about Alliance tournaments, with them officially being announced as returning. And look, normally on a lot of these things I can be quite critical, and I think deservedly so, and I don't honestly feel like I get too harsh sometimes with some of the things I'm critical on, maybe some things I do. But this one, a lot of us were very harsh, and I think appropriately so. But I think the reason, the root cause of why we were harsh was simple. We didn't want another Starbase assaults, right? Can we agree to that? If you experienced the blah that was assaults, well, it's a dead mechanic, and we didn't want that for Alliance tournaments. Most of us agreed, and feel free to chime in. It's a great idea, just need to be implemented well. So there are changes, and another reason that I'm making this video, and I decided to make it its own video, waiting for them to come out with this article, is because I really do want to push as much as I can into getting effective change. Because number one, we do know for a fact they're listening, hence that this is happening. They don't want this to be Starbase assaults, which is good. I mean, I strongly encourage Scopely to not make another assaults feature. So with that in mind, we know they're willing to listen. It means that the feedback is getting heard, and we're going to talk about what is being changed, but also because I really believe in us as a community pushing for things to be better and pushing for this to get perfected. Because again, I personally love the idea of Alliance tournaments. But let's cover the actual topics. We'll go over everything, and y'all let me know what you think. So this is from Sim Polly. Shout out to Sim Polly, and also shout out to the rest of the Star Trek Fleet Command folks. I feel slightly bad. I tested negative for COVID, but apparently a lot of people who went to Nashville got very sick, and some people even got COVID. So thoughts and prayers out to y'all. Hopefully the Scopely people are healthy and happy. I definitely don't want anybody getting sick. So before I send those weekend vibes your way, here's a thrilling update to kick off things. We're excited to share the improvements coming with the return of Alliance tournaments on Tuesday, September 24th. So at the time of making this video, you're going to have the weekend to think about it, talk about it, get ready for feedback, etc., and then we'll push it out. So there's the link, and as you can get a quick heads up, in some cases, the board might display the relegation threshold at lower, higher than expected. It's a visual bug. So I do appreciate them letting you know, hey, there could be some visual bugs. Communication's good, so thumbs up for comms. But how about we go ahead and leave this announcement and go into the article. Let's see this link right here. Gotta click it. Well, how about I click it? I go, boop. Oh, look at that. It's magic. It's the power of the internet. All right, so let's talk about the notable improvement to Alliance tournament. So players will be able to see the following changes reflected in their game. Number one is going to be tasks. This is the main thing, honestly. And from reading this, now I did reach out to them asking for a example for them to give us like a screenshot of the updated task, and they did not get back to me. They didn't say no. They just didn't get back in time for me making this video. I waited a few hours, but that's okay. So let's read first. New task for defeating various armadas, awarding up to 10K points, which remember 10,000 was the maximum for any task. So those were the biggest scoring ones, and having those for armadas, especially if that's a solo armada event, is a beautiful, good add. I mean, if you were a player 35 and above, Dominion solos, Borg solos, etc., should be pretty easy. G6 players have new solos now. Now, I'm not saying that that has to be for everybody, because I realize that not everybody can do all those, but anything that we're adding in like this task, which is highlighting the ability to grind out versus buy out, is a win, right? Again, I'm saying this with optimism in my voice, hoping and believing it's going to be what we requested it to be, understanding that these games need to make money, but at the same time need to make content that's fun. And yeah, I wanted events that I could grind. So let's see, significantly increased point rewards for all existing non-acquired tasks, which is a pretty big deal, because obviously the acquired task is referencing some of the ones that, like, hey, if you bought this, you could do this, etc. So making it seem more balanced, which I actually love, because here's the thing that happens. You as a player have two choices, essentially. Do you pick the event where you can easily complete it and just pay to finish it, or get equal amount of points, but you actually have to go put in the work, right? If you want to be lazy, spend the money. If you want to put in the work, but still score amount for your alliance and score well for your alliance, bam. I love that, and that's how this is reading. Now, again, I don't want to get too enthusiastic. We have seen these things fall flat before, but I do think this reads really well. This is the type of, in my opinion, is what we were wanting in the beginning, right? We'll see, but that reads really well. Up to 8,800 points for using resources. That's a significant jump. Worth approximately double previous values. Again, they're telling you, it's like, what do you even need rev for? Lowest point tasks are now 750 versus 80, which was huge. New task for defeating various types of hostile, rewarding up to 5,000 points. That's, again, a pretty big jump to what was before. Now, I will tell you, reading this, I don't think the whole idea of the 10,000 point spreads where, I'll be honest, they were pay, and we talked about them, of the different lists. There was pay there, but at the same time, this is a significant boost to the general scoring idea. So I'm trying to be giving it a chance. I want to give it a chance. All right. Points are awarded based on the difference between player level and the hostile level. Defeating higher level hostiles will help you complete the task faster, which for me sounds great. I want to punch up. One of the benefits of playing the style of game that I play in Star Trek Fleet Command is I generally am able to punch up. So hopefully that is the case for me. Now, the task board balance is another set of improvements that I actually really like. Greatly increases the weight of tasks requiring the use of ships. Again, I think that is a good thing. Increase the number of task slots requiring the use of ships. Increase the number of task slots requiring the use of resources. Reduce the weight of G6 related tasks. If you remember, this isn't me saying that I think G6 players shouldn't get things. They absolutely should, right? I was talking to a G6 player this morning about some issues they were having, like wanting server merge. Things like, look, different players have different things they expect and need, right? But at the same time, a lot of those, when they were spawning in, were a lot of G6 missions for alliances that don't even have G6 players. So could try to rotate some of those out and maybe not weight them as heavily and reduce the number of acquired task slots. So then we have the final set of improvements here. Tournament leaderboards now highlight promotion and relegation places, so you can actually know if you're moving up or moving down based on your performance. Improve Alliance task board icon visuals, and rename task rerolls to refresh the simplified usage. And then this is an example of the splits. You see most LBs are split in the 20 to 39 Alliance brackets. Most are 20 if less than 20 remain. Another bracket is increased to accommodate. So this is your basic tournament structure of moving up, moving down. And how it works, you can see that if you're in the top 25% for the early leagues, you'll move up. Bottom 25% move down, with the Master League being a 15%. So obviously the most difficult one to get into, and in theory, the one with the best and most lucrative rewards. So what we have here is a pretty stark, shift. I would actually say this is a lot. Again, I don't have any visual examples to show you, so I am basing this off of having conversations with the dev teams, having conversations with you, having conversations with everybody, and saying, hey, this is what players wanted, right? This is the feedback that was given. And whether it was me, DJ, the moderators, Lube, Stewie, etc., everybody kind of came into Alliance tournaments and they gave the dreaded 3-letter acronym, DOA, Dead on Arrival. Everybody was in universal agreement, at least from our side of things, like we're talking content creators, modders, and they did not like what it ended up being. And I actually ended up thinking that the point scoring was quite low. I mean, if you remember when we were talking about the alliances that finished at the very top, they were scoring like, what, 2 million points. And in theory, you could have scored double or triple that if you had high activity, which didn't seem to be the case. So it's my hope that this is going to revitalize Alliance tournaments and incentivizing you as the player, especially the average player, to participate and do more. Now, I am honestly and admittedly coming through this with a very positive light, because it's an example of them saying, yes, we're going to hear your feedback. Here's us immediately taking what we launched, stopping it, and then trying to fix it. And look, you can have your issues with Scopely or any other game company that you want, but when they do something like that, I think they deserve a modicum of credit. I think they deserve an opportunity to show they can make it better, because they could have just kept running it and just said, screw it, eat it or don't. And they didn't. They pulled it and said, okay, how can we make this more friendly to the player base? So I'm going to give it another chance. I'm excited to see what it's going to be, but at the same time, I want to know what you think and what you would like to see, because your feedback in this case clearly matters. If you say it doesn't, you're just being a negative Nancy, and stop it. Stop it. Sometimes it's going to be positive. It's fun to be positive, right? Like Starship Flight 5 coming, and hopefully it actually lands on the station, right? We can be hopeful. Anyway, hope y'all are having a great week and a great weekend. Hope you're feeling great. Live long and plunder. Stay safe with the Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next Star Trek Fleet Command video. We'll be going over more STFC content and maybe more content for Server 710. If y'all want some low-level content, let me know. We've been doing a lot in streams, and it's been a lot of fun, but let me know what you want to see. And yeah, that's it. I'm out.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.